Hey Gemini, welcome to your May reading. So I heard that there is a lot of love coming to you, possibly even in the form of gifts, but something that Spirit was showing me was a lot of support from a partner or people that you love, someone coming into your life potentially. And the other side of that message was, and remember, like all this beautiful love and support coming toward you, you are best able to receive and give that back when you are really loving yourself in the same way that you hope to be loved by other people. You know what I'm saying? So exploring your curiosities and making time for all of like your hobbies and interests, and making sure that you are staying in deep touch with yourself, as opposed to potentially maybe getting like super duper wrapped up in somebody to the point that you might just get like the waters get a little muddy, like you might lose a little bit of sight of like, oh yeah, like, and so the Spirit is saying something really sweet and funny, which is like, this even goes for the people who are like in the honeymoon period of a relationship, right, where it's like, understandably you are deep in that and you're not focusing on a whole lot other than that for a little while, and there comes a moment where you got to be like, oh right, like, you know, for example, I keep laying in bed with my significant other in the morning because now the mornings are so lovely and soft and juicy, right? And I don't want to get up and go to the gym, so I'm just going to stay here and stay cuddled up with this person. And then slowly over time, like you lose touch with this habit that was really important or central to you. You know, insert a different habit here. It could be, oh, I haven't been doing my writing practice because I'm just having so much fun hanging out with this person or whatever. Just make sure that you are tending to you, because all this wonderful love and support coming to you, and of course, happy early solar return, that could have something to do with it. Make sure that you are also centering yourself. And speaking of your upcoming birthday, whenever we are approaching our solar return, that means that the sun is cruising through, or at least highlighting, the house of endings, transcendence, loose ends and closing them up, etc., right? And is going to move into our house of self, our house of how we step forward in life, what we love, how we shine, right? That's our birthday. So in this time, in the loose ends, looking at the past, etc., etc., take the time to sweep out anything that doesn't belong, right? This is your personal new year coming up. You want to be ready to step into it, not carrying anything. Spirit is saying it's like when you're moving. You don't pack dirty dishes. You don't pack clothes that you're pretty sure you would donate if you would just take the time to sort those. You know what I'm saying? So donate the metaphorical clothes. Wash the metaphorical dishes before you pack them up and take them into your new year. Okay? Okay. Tend to you. Pretty simple. Makes sense. Okay. Come on, Len. There we go. All right, now let's get into the story of your month. We'll pull a persona card to represent you, which aspects of you Spirit wants to highlight and bring into your awareness for your highest good. And now, Spirit, we're going to pull cards to represent the past as it pertains to the present and the unfolding future. That's really funny. Okay. And then Spirit, please show me, where is Gemini in the present moment? Wow, did you see that leap out? Jeez. Okay, Gemini. And Spirit, what is the unfolding future that the past and the present currently are on path to bring? Okay, interesting, interesting. And Spirit, we want to know the climate that Gemini is working with. What can they expect to encounter in the month of May? And Spirit, then we want to know, what is your guidance for Gemini in the month of May to make the very best of it, to make the most of it, to step into peace, ease, abundance, joy, fulfillment? Okay, Spirit, please show us a potential outcome so that Gemini can know, steer toward or steer away from this potential outcome that is appearing now. Okay, 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 okay. And finally, Spirit, please share with us the key to unlocking Month of May for Gemini's highest good. Wow. Okay. This is really interesting, Gemini, because you can see your cards there. Sitting in the past is the Four of Cups. When I was talking at the beginning of your reading about like enjoying something so much that eventually it could become like it muddies the waters or it could become stagnant, that's basically what we're seeing here, looking at the Four of Cups in the past turning into a current Five of Cups. That's how the suits work, right? Is like a Four of Cups unattended will become a Five of Cups. So Four of Cups sitting in the past, looking at something that is very ideal and saying, I don't know why mine doesn't look like that. Why doesn't mine look like that? And kind of keeping our focus on what's not working, or kind of like, it's not fair. For example, like a phrase like that, like it's not fair that this happened to me or that this person behaved that way. And that can be extremely accurate, right? That can be extremely true. And right next to that is true, that is valid, is there, you're not really going to get a better feeling or a better answer by just, it's circular to say it isn't fair, or like it should have been like this, it should have been like this, it should have been like this. And it's like, yes, and it wasn't, and they didn't, and or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's only in knowing that that we can finally lift our head up and look for something new. And so it looks like in some way, Gemini, there might have been like a little bit of too much focus on what isn't working and what you're comparing it to. That's what I see when I look at this person staring at those three spilled cups, and then they've got the poster of those perfect idealized cups, right? Sitting up on the wall. Comparing yourself to other people can also lead to a Five of Cups moment where it seems like, see, like nothing ever works out for me, or I knew that it was going to turn out like this, or etc. Excuse me. Because you're definitely emotional this month, and that makes a lot of sense. Spirit Open talking about like your 12th house, right? That before the sun can enter your first house and be your birthday, and yay, the spotlight is on you. The spotlight is on, it's darkest before the dawn. That's the 12th house. So examining again anything that like hasn't worked, or where there are loose ends, or something that you need to detach from or mourn, in order to be able to move on. Do you know what I'm talking about? What might you be focusing on to the point that you may be ignoring, not on purpose, but you might be missing out on, ignoring, or just plain not able to see in this moment everything that is good and beautiful and is still working for you in this time. You notice the two cups behind the person, they've got their head in their hands, so they can't see. They're focused on their three overturned cups to the point, just like the person in the Four of Cups, to the point that they don't see the two cups that are sitting behind them full with all those ripe, juicy grapes. So it's a little out of balance. Do you also notice this person is sitting in the position of an upside down pentagram? It's like things are out of balance right now with the Five of Cups. The fives are like tests where we can get really stuck there. And we can kind of lose ourselves in the various fives, the Five of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Cups. Please do not lose sight of what is really wonderful and good in your life because you are mourning this thing. Mourn it as necessary. Absolutely feel your feelings. Just do not forget in the big wave of those emotions what a beautiful shore is sitting right over there waiting for you to walk back up on it and enjoy what is left in your life, okay? Okay. You are the Knight of Cups in the month of May, as I said, in your feelings, emotional. Interesting to note also, the Spirit just said mutable. Gemini, you're a mutable sign. And they said that because the Knights are in transition. They're neither where they were nor where they will ultimately be. They're on a journey, right? And the Knight in particular is on, the Knight of Cups in particular is on like an emotional journey. A journey of opening up their heart, of knowing themselves more, of falling in love. Could be a person, could be with life, like ideally both. But you are on a journey and Spirit is asking you not to armor up. Okay, the Knight of Cups is not wearing any armor. You notice this is a big, beautiful, naked man riding a dragon. It's not the Knight of Swords, right? Or the Knight of Pentacles, like all covered in like leather and steel. The Knight of Cups is available. And things, that's what Spirit is saying also, is like the armor, the lack of armor means that things touch the Knight of Cups in ways that they don't touch the other knights. So nobody is asking you to get out of your feelings by saying like, hey, make sure to pick your head up. It's look at the spectrum of feelings. It's very understandable, again, kind of like what Spirit was saying about the honeymoon phase and coming out of a honeymoon phase, where it's like that can be like a downer, that can be like the proverbial come down, right? I was at a high and now I've come down. And when we're coming down from that proverbial high, it can feel like a total loss, but it's like, oh no, I'm just like recalibrating, okay? You're recalibrating. The Two of Pentacles is sitting in the energy, the climate around and available to you. A gentle transition, again, with the Knight of Cups. And we haven't even talked about it because we're going to get into the goodness of the Chariot being the future. Talk about in transition. Talk about heading where you're meant to go. And now you don't have to be riding the horse. You can sit back in the Chariot. But we're going to talk about that in a second. Excuse me. So opportunities to move and to gently adapt, which is something that you're great at as a mutable sign, are going to present themselves. Specifically, some of you have been looking for a change in your job or in your financial situation, like a new opportunity or even a way to move around the money that you have now through the work that you have now to change ultimately your financial situation. Like I'm hearing slowly but surely, I'm hearing one step at a time. So something like moving some money that you used to use for entertainment or whatever over to like, okay, now I'm going to put this toward this debt, or I'm going to put this toward this skill building program that I want to take or whatever, because that's ultimately going to pay off more than this thing over here. You know what I'm talking about? So gently playing with your money, gently moving it around works for you. And that also goes for your skills. So, I wonder, like, this is what Spirit just said. So for those of you for whom this really resonates, great. For others of you, this is a metaphor. What Spirit said was like, I wonder if I could like, if my editing skills are saleable. I wonder if I could get some money by doing a little bit of editing on the side because I'm really good at it. It's really easy for me and it wouldn't take me long to yada, yada, yada. And it's like, yes, there is. So your mileage may vary. Your graphic design or your whatever, like whatever your little skill that you're building on the side, there could be some room to make a little more money if you invest in trying to make a little more money there, okay? Sitting right above that, a potential outcome, Six of Pentacles. Love to see a 6 coming after a 5, okay? Sixes are the flow that comes after the test and the potential stagnation of the 5s. Six of Pentacles is getting, like receiving your worth. Feeling like I'm getting what I deserve. And I feel like that need to be able to ask for help and then receive it is really important. For some of you, this is as plain as the new job that you want with the pay that you want is out there between the Two of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. So there's like your mundane, straightforward version of that reading, right? But it's also, okay, so I had a Five of Cups moment where I was feeling really unseen and unappreciated by, you know, maybe the people around me or the person that I love or whatever. And we needed to have a really open-hearted Knight of Cups-ish conversation about, hey, like I feel like I'm missing how we used to connect, or I'm missing fill in the blank. Would it be possible for us to work something out where I could have blank or whatever? You know what I'm saying? Your mileage may vary. What is your open-hearted conversation where you might need to vulnerably express a need rather than trying to like analyze your way out of having to say it? That's something that I'm hearing with that Nine of Swords in the guidance position. You're overthinking it. no blame, no shame, no judgment. I'm an air sign too. Like we do that, right? Like because our brains work really well. So we and this society and culture raises us to think like the mind is where we solve problems. But that's not always true, particularly this month. It's more like the heart and the soul is where you're going to be able to quote unquote solve problems or create new openings, right? This particular version of the Nine of Swords I love. If you look a little closer at the illustration, you'll see this person as their, once again, head in their hands. See a little pattern here. And they are in their distress. They are not noticing that they are not trapped. That behind them, there is a trapdoor with a big silver lock on it. And then right in front of them in the foreground of the picture is a big brass key. There is a way out. There is a way forward, and it's actually accessible, totally accessible if you come down out of your mind and out of your fear. Nine of Swords is also very classically an anxiety card. It's a sleepless nights card. It's a my brain won't shut up, so I can't fall asleep, or I can't move on, or I can't like seem to take a step forward because my mind keeps telling me all the reasons it won't work, or why, or the catastrophe. You know, like, are you a person who catastrophizes sometimes? Again, no blame, no shame, no judgment. It's something to know about yourself, if it's true, so that you can, Two of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, so that you can do whatever is necessary to balance it out. Okay? Now, talk about balancing it out. Beautifully, in your future, we see you taking the reins. So the Four and Five of Cups could actually produce a pretty important and empowering conclusion. As in, like, oh, okay, so this is what I need to do. And being able to be on your own side. You know, the Chariot is illustrated always with a white horse and a dark horse for a reason. Our conscious and our unconscious, we will get places a lot faster if they're on the same side. You can still get places without your, you know, being a united consciousness. Okay, most people are not a united consciousness. Most of us to some degree are a little bit split, right? And people still manage to make their big dreams come true even though they haven't done all their shadow work, right? So nobody is saying you can't get yourself where you're trying to go without engaging in difficult conversations or being vulnerable. You can, but you might like find yourself dragging your dark horse over, you know, rocks and glass to get over the finish line. And there's always a price, right? There's always a price for ignoring parts of ourselves, brushing past certain needs or feelings in order to like be strong or stay on target or whatever, right? You don't want to ignore your feelings in the month of May. And if something hurts or needs grieving or releasing, then it looks like this is a strong, powerful time for you to do it, as long as you are remembering to drop out of your head and into your heart. When you start overthinking and overanalyzing, not, you know, you don't have to get mad at yourself for that. You don't have to be like, I'm doing something wrong. It's not that. It's just like, okay, I've done all the, like, I've got this covered. Nine of Swords would say you've more than thought it through. Like, right? So there's not anything happening up here that is new. There's not some enlightening conclusion that is suddenly going to come from you doing that equation one more time, right? But by getting into your heart, by even tuning into your soul, which is another part of those cups, right? Like praying or meditating and doing things that cultivate the openness and the cleanliness of your channel, those are the things that are likely to help you actually have like, and this is what Spirit is showing me, is like a conclusion dropping into your heart. And in such a way, here's here's one of the ways you can know that something is your intuition as opposed to something that you wish for or something that you like imagined or whatever. When we are allowing ourselves to be in that kind of reflective, quiet place, and it doesn't have to be sitting in meditation. You could be taking a shower or going for a walk and letting or cooking a meal, something where I have to pay just enough attention to this that I can't totally be elsewhere, or like going for a run, Spirit showing me different things where it's like it takes enough effort that you can't like totally be on autopilot, but it's just enough that your mind is like busy doing other things and your intuition can go bloop, there you go. Well, while you weren't analyzing, here's that thing that you were asking about. And being able to have something drop in the way, like I said, that you know it different from something that you're wishing for or hoping or something you just came up with or thought of, is this thing will come in, and whether it's a big happy thing, whether it's a sad thing, like it could be something as painful as, oh, this relationship isn't going to work out. I'm not saying that's true for you. I'm giving you an example. Oh, this relationship isn't going to work out. And it comes in like that. It's not stories about why that's happening. And here's the, and it's because this and this and this and this, and you did this, and this is why this. That's your mind. Yep. Right? This isn't going to work out. Coming in without even a big burst of emotion, because intuition is deeper, quieter than emotion. So it's not your fear or heartbreak. It's, oh, this isn't going to work out. And it kind of comes in like that, like High Priestess style, where there's not a bunch of emotional attachment to it, and there's certainly not a bunch of analysis to it. It's just, oh, this is what is. And so when it comes in like that, that's how you can know, like, ah, my intuition is talking, as opposed to whatever. So get out of your mind. Sitting in the key position, the Hierophant. Whose law do you follow? Which altars are you worshiping at? If you are worshiping at the altar of pleasing all people all of the time, then the altar of you is dusty, untended, no offerings, no liveliness, right? And Spirit was asking you from the very beginning of the reading, like, we want you to tend to you and what makes you you. So just consider, whose rules am I following? And do I agree with all those rules? Just being conscious, like they said with the chariot, just like becoming aware that, like, oh yeah, some part of me is still trying to like please my parents or what, you know what I mean? Whatever. Like some part of me is still trying to do that, even though my conscious mind is like, screw what they think, I gotta do what I want or whatever. But also I do need to keep dressing like this or else I'm gonna throw them off or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Your individuation, your personhood, the authenticity of who you are is an essential ingredient for you to be able to have the victory that you want in your life and the change that you want in your life. So you can't analyze your way out of being vulnerable, authentic, seen. Okay, because that's part of your dream. It's part of like what gets you what you want, is being open and vulnerable and operating like a Knight of Cups who then takes charge and drives the chariot. You've got this. Just follow your own rules. Okay, Gemini, I hope that that is helpful. I'm wishing you a wonderful month. I hope I will catch you in the Saturday Live. And if not, I hope I catch you in your next reading. Till then.